Sound production.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Sir Yeetus. Welcome to episode 54 of Yeetus' Thoughts. Alright, I am running off of only 3 hours of sleep. It's been a very busy 24 hours. Of course, that crazy live stream that we had last night, which was still awesome. It was great. We had two OGs on the live stream dropping constant gems. You know, something that I thought Susan, whatever her name is, was just gonna start zoning in on my channel like a freaking heat-seeking missile. But I'm still here. I'm still here. And surprisingly, there will be another stream sometime tomorrow or Monday. Another special guest will be on. Also, all thanks to Island Herman as well. Island Herman, he's hooking me up. He's hooking me up right now. Thank you very much for giving me the contact information. Things are looking pretty good for my channel so far. I'm treading water right now, but it's all up to the Warband, right? The grind never stops, okay? I do what I gotta do to spread the Warband message. But the topic today, as you see the title, right? It is going to be a very interesting and also personal issue when it comes to false allegations. The woman that cried wolf. I never personally got accused, but I know people in my life that was accused, and it took them years to recover. Luckily, they had time to recover from those false allegations. Plenty of men out there, they will never recover from these allegations, ever, no matter what they do, even when they were proven not guilty. This is going to be a very good topic, and I'm sure that plenty of people that's in your life, maybe you dealt with it personally, that dealt with a woman that's willing to use the power of the state, the government, the police, the 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 Sims, the White Knights, the courts, use them as a weapon on you. Okay, it's not just sexual harassment. There's plenty of things that she can accuse you for that will not only damage your reputation, but potentially get you hurt, potentially get you killed. I'm going to add these two people right away, okay? Because, of course, they're my favorite guests on the show. Everybody, let's welcome Gray. What's going on?
Evening Warband.
Good evening. What's going on, man?
Ah, well, just had dinner, fiddling around on the Minecraft server, and yeah, I figured drop in and say, well, holy shit, great live stream last night. Holy crap.
Man, well, I'm sure the chat knows and you guys know as well. I barely could get a word out. That's how intense it was. I was listening myself, like they were dropping some great gems last night.
Oh, yeah.
It was getting too base. I'm like, hey, because it's not just my channel. It's my stream was getting streamed. It was getting streamed on Chronic's channel as well. I'm like, hey, let's relax. I don't care if it was on any other platform, but I don't want to be the guy that people's accounts get nukes.
You don't want to be the cause of Undead Chronic 15 and 16.
But he says, hey, he's cool with it. It is what it is. As long as he able to get the message out. Also, I got that guy P. What's going on, man?
What is up, my brothers? Puniti.
Puniti, welcome back once again. Hopefully, you have a lot of knowledge about this topic, or you ever put in your own perspective on this one.
Oh, I got thoughts. Yeah.
All right, too easy. And I'm going to invite one more person. Arlen Herman, what's going on, man?
Yo. So the guest finally got back to you?
Yeah. We just we working on the time right now. Hopefully tomorrow.
Sweet. This is gonna be lit, dude.
It is, and you already know what topics I'm planning on trying to talk
Yep.
about as well. So we're gonna do this in an organized fashion, not like yesterday. We're gonna start with Gray, because you were here first.
Yeah.
Gray. So when it comes to model women or even women in general having false allegations towards a man, purposely lying on a man of something that he did not do, that's a strong weapon for a woman to use in society, right?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, quite honestly, as soon as she says that, it entirely depends on her reputation and the police.
I don't even think her reputation matters in today's society at this point.
Well,
Just because she has an axe wound between her legs, that's all they need. That's all the reason they need. Believe
indeed,
all women.
but that's the thing is her reputation. I've actually almost had it leveled against me.
Really?
And
Okay. We'll definitely get to that very soon. We'll get to that.
So I can elaborate on why I'd say her reputation matters later.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to the stories because I know everybody here and people in the chat, I'm sure you've known somebody or you went through it personally. A woman tried to falsely accuse a man of doing something that he never even did. All out of jealousy, out of spite. Literally, she's out there intentionally trying to get you hurt or worse. That guy Pete.
Yo.
So, what is your overall perspective on women using the power of puniti to make false allegations towards a man, and that's all she needs to get a man punished?
Well, obviously, I don't like it, and obviously, it's not fair. We can all agree on that, surely. But, you know, whenever you talk about this topic, usually what women like to do is they like to move the goalpost. They like to flip the script and say, well, grape, R word. I tend to just say R word. What they'll switch it to that, right? And then it's like, yes, but your problem gets taken seriously, first off. And second, we understand that most of you are not going to do it. We get that. But the problem isn't that you will or will not do it. It's that you can do it and it will get taken seriously. That's the problem.
Immediately.
Yeah. And and of course, you know, I have dinner with my mom, you know, she gets into it because, you know, it's hard. Listen, red pilling your mother's hard work, but I try.
I already gave up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my mom's a little more traditional than most. She's pretty based, but needs improvement.
But
Anyway.
it's just the power of sisterhood, man.
It's not even that. It's just that I think when it comes to R word, because it's such a gross violation.
Talk about that particular subject. Okay.
Yeah, I think like the reason why even women like my mom get like that about this particular topic is because R word, it's such a gross violation of their emotional investment, which is to give their body. That's what really hurts them. It's like they forcefully had their emotional investment taken from them, and that's really what angers them about it, and that's why it's so touchy for them. It's kind of like paternity fraud for us, you know? It's like our emotional investment is like having a family and shit, and the ultimate betrayal is just having that all pissed on. So
I could disagree with that, but we could get into that later.
We will soon, and that guy Pete, I definitely agree with what you're saying in the sense of a man's worst nightmare versus a woman's worst nightmare.
Correct. And they're not identical analogs. Do not take them as such, right? But the general gist is that when someone's emotional investment is violated and taken advantage of, it makes someone feel a certain kind of way. Yeah. So I was getting into it with my mother, and you know, she was referring to the Philadelphia train incident. You know the one, okay?
Yeah.
And there were some guys that were, and chicks, I'm not even sure. They were very despicable recording it, very despicable behavior. But then they also tried to get in on the guys who decided to not do anything. And I tried to explain to my mom, it's like, you don't think we have a protector instinct in us that makes us want to stop that? Of course it's there. But we also know that there are stories like the guy who jumps into the water to go save the girl. He accidentally grabs on a titty or something on the way out, and then boom, allegation attached to it.
Yep.
And even like the judge is looking at the girl like, are you fucking serious right now? But it doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is because the crying of wolf was already done. The smear job is complete. The reputation is destroyed, even if he's found not guilty.
Yeah, that's why that law was the Good Samaritan law was put in place.
Correct.
Because I didn't realize that it was that bad back in the day. The women literally, just for saving a person's life. Like there's an example of a woman. This guy was doing a Hyman maneuver because she was choking. And he, because he's strong and stuff, he cracked a couple of ribs, and she sued him for him saving her life. And the judge was like, no.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
I remember that story.
Yeah. And the other side to it, I think it was one of your subs came on the show and talked about like how he was messing with some girl on Tinder. I think she was like a Muslim girl or something. And basically what happened is her boyfriend that she was cheating on him with found out about it. And then again, because they're wired to avoid social disapproval, boom, she whipped out that false allegation card to dodge all responsibility, avoid social disapproval, unannounced, no rights, no due process. Cops walked up to him and loaded him up into the car. I'm just saying, like, there's no rights. All right. And then another story about this guy I heard where he was chilling in his apartment. Some girl is calling him up. She's down to fuck, whatever, but she's hammered, right? So she comes over and he's just like, nah, you're way too hammered. There's no way. He's smart, though. He had the whole thing on record the whole time. Yeah. And she's like, listen, if you don't do this right now, basically, she's trying to R-word him at this point. I'm going to call the police and tell them you tried to R-word me. Okay?
Why am I not surprised?
So she calls. So he says, I bet. She calls them up. And even before he can prove anything, he's already in cuffs in his own goddamn apartment, mind you. Right? Wow. And he's just like, bruh, look at the fucking phone. Jesus Christ. The cops look at the phone. They're like, oh, that's all you have to say.
Yeah. Just,
like, fuck you. Oh, like, stop taking her a word just because she has a vagina. Again, it's like they want the cake and eat it too. And it's very, very insulting.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's very insulting because as a guy, it's like, look, when it comes to our word, men at least take your problem seriously. We take it seriously. We know it's a problem. But then we come around with our side of the story and you're like, nah, we're not going to take it seriously because you're a man. And my genes tell me you're wired to protect and provide. So I have like this knee-jerk ooga booga reaction that just tells me, nah, you don't need protection from the law. You're a man. You could deal with it yourself. Good luck in court. And it's like, fuck you.
Which I will be addressing as well of how that situation is handled seriously. I will definitely address that in a bit. Hermit.
I actually got a story of a friend in high school that tried to delete himself because a girl, we were at a party, we're all drinking, we're probably like 16, 17 at the time. And this girl was all over my friend and they like went in the back room and hooked up and she had a boyfriend and you know how people talk. So it got back to her boyfriend and she was like, oh, he raped me, blah, blah, blah. And then it like turned into a big thing at school. Like the cops never got involved or anything, which like, if you don't get the cops involved, I automatically think you're lying. Well, anyways, he like tried to delete himself over it. And thank God he didn't succeed. But yeah, dude, it turned into like a big thing and it was fucked up just because she wanted to be a whore and cheat on her boyfriend. And then fucking, dude, I know so many girls that have done this. I remember this 19-year-old broad that I was dating. And like this was before I found the red pill. And she like went out on girls' night out. And I like didn't know like you shouldn't let these hoes do that. And then she ended up hooking up with a guy and she had like a hickey on her neck. And she was like, oh, he raped me and threw on the crocodile tears. And I found out that was a lie. And then this Filipino girl at my work was living with one of her friends that we work with. And then she tried to lie and say that her boyfriend tried to grape him, and that ended up being a lie. So it's so bad. It's to the point now when a girl says it, I just automatically don't believe them.
Yeah. Fucking
Yep.
disgusting.
So I am gonna go over how serious that situation has been taken. Okay, this situation has been taken seriously since the dawn of time. The dawn of time. I highly doubt that there were many societies that in their culture they accepted the grape culture. Not once I've heard that type of society that accepted that, and it was common. Like it was widespread acceptance of that. Not one society. Have you guys heard of a society accepting that?
Nope.
It depends on how citizens are classified.
Well, and this, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm talking about overall. You know, like if somebody's daughter got into that situation, the males and her family, I'm pretty sure, depending on the situation, will most likely will be doing something about it. Even in the Middle East, right?
Established members of the community, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying
Societies where there's
but in the Middle East, though, regardless where you at in society, people get killed over this.
Well, yeah, but that's if the victim is considered a member of the society and not of the slave class.
But so I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is when it comes to protecting a woman's chastity, especially when you're a father or brother or a male member of the family, you ain't gonna be thinking straight if you hear about that shit happening. All right,
Absolutely.
you won't give no shits about the position of that person. If you're able to reach that person, more likely than not, you're gonna go to that person.
That's why when you conquer and take females as slaves, you kill all the men.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, which is true. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to societies in general, I have not heard of a society of like widespread accepting the grape culture. Okay.
Yes.
No, in fact, I think it's the opposite. Like, remember
Exactly.
when the whole marital grape law got passed? Do you know what? Like, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. There's some abusive piece of shit husbands. Let's bury them under the prison. All right, fine. But do you know what making a law like that, like how much power that gives a woman? Like, that's insane. Think about it. That means like if you divorce your husband and you could just say, because marital grape law, right? You could just say, oh, those times that like you thought were consent, yeah, they weren't.
Oh,
like,
he is fucked.
Dude.
Bro, and the lawyers in divorce court actively encourage them to make up that shit.
Yes.
Fucking brutal.
Well,
one of the scariest things that happened to me over the summer was I had this 18-year-old girl come over from Tinder and we like hooked up, and then like the conversation got like weird, and then she was like, yeah, I believe that you can retract consent. I'm like, yeah, you're never fucking coming back over.
No, you can't at all. It's ridiculous. And
I
the fact
ghosted her,
that-
dude.
Yeah,
Changed
and the
my
fact
number
that
and everything.
You know what you would do if something happened to your mother or your sister or your niece or your auntie, whoever the fuck it is. All right, like it's either you alone or a few of your male family members are going to take care of it. Probably not in the first world societies. You might beat his ass, but you can't, eliminate him. But in other areas like the Middle East or areas that are still developed, you're dead.
Well,
You're
just
literally a dead
imagine.
man walking off of a woman's word alone, which is insane.
Just imagine what the guys that are falsely accused in prison right now are going through. I've been to prison. I know what they do to people that are convicted of grape. So just imagine you're in there for 10 years and you honestly didn't do it. Like, fuck, there's that one story where that guy did 5 years and then the girl was like, oh, I just made it up. And then she got no trouble at all. It's like, what the fuck? Send this bitch to prison.
Yep.
Like, this guy was literally in hell, the equivalent to hell, for 5 years, and so now she's just not gonna get in trouble because she's like, oh, I felt bad.
Not even to mention all the psychological damage done to that guy when he was in jail for all that time.
Dude,
Yeah.
I did a year in prison and I'm fucked up because of that. So I couldn't imagine 5 years for a crime. It's like one thing if you're in there for like stealing a car or beating a dude up, but if you're in there for like shit like that, you are fucked.
Yep, and the overall premises of this topic is women know this. Women know she put
Exactly.
death sentence on you. Yes, she does it anyway. Because of how she feels. Okay. It's different if it was a legit rape. Okay. That person deserves to get the shit stumped out of them every fucking day.
Yep.
But
And part of it is the definition keeps changing to
yep,
like physical restriction to essentially under duress.
yeah,
And
moving
then-
the
yeah.
goalposts.
And that's tied completely to how attractive or unattractive she finds you. Fucking
Well,
brutal.
And that's where the retraction, well, that's the thing, but that's where retraction comes in because
When
if
she sobers
changes-
up.
if she changes her mind on how she felt, she should be, oh no, I was under duress. I felt afraid and therefore I couldn't say no.
Oh, also her reputation.
That too.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how like they're complete fucking airheads, but all of a sudden you get them in a courtroom and they're like goddamn lawyers that went to college for 8 years.
Well, if there's one thing they know, it's how to argue.
Fucking facts.
So the
Don't-
craziest part is, right? I'm talking about the craziest part. All right. Like women have been doing this long before, today's society. And a big situation is I forgot what time frame it was, but I watched a movie off of that stuff or was it the Salem witch trials where the teenage girls were falsely accusing men and women of being a witch or being responsible for some witchcraft. And these men and women that they falsely accuse get executed immediately. Just based off of those teenage girls' word alone. And I'm pretty sure, since being a witch doesn't exist, they were faking the symptoms and all that crazy shit. Literally, straight up faking it, and then condemning multiple men and women to death just because.
Well, the thing is with witches, like we often take it fairly literally, but
Well,
the
you know what I'm
definition could
talking about.
easily be expanded to encompass like okay, like here's the thing. Suppose there's an unmarried woman in your town, like of at least mid-20s age, and she's got an STI. That's not really someone you want in your community.
Right, but what I'm saying is, it was teenage girls that were falsely accusing men and women.
Yeah, I think what Gray's getting at is that basically, if you have the power to just kind of accuse anyone of being a witch whenever you want, you could basically make the definition whatever you want just to get rid of people that you don't want around anymore.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I highly doubt it's because of a STD.
This kind of reminds me of the story.
I highly doubt. Wait,
no,
hold up,
no,
hold
but
up,
like,
give me a second, give me a
no,
second, give me a
but,
second,
but
give me a
keep in mind when you don't know what it is, I like say a man fools around with this woman, comes home, starts pissing fire. Oh, I got cursed by that witch. Now she's in the local bonfire, which you can understand why that would be even desirable for medieval society. Because an unmarried non-virgin wandering around your town giving an STI to the male population, yeah, not something that you'd want to keep around.
Well, I see what you're saying. Well, that's like a very specific situation. When it comes to teenage girls, knowing teenage girls, they will do it just because. They will do it out of jealousy.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that story. I think either Better Bachelor or Sydney MGTOW, maybe they both went over it. It was like a 13, 14-year-old girl and her sister thought it would be funny to go to their parents and be like, this guy touched me. And the dad was like, oh, hell no. And straight up murdered that guy. And then after they're like, oh, we're just kidding, and now it's like their dad is off to prison. The dad and mom are off to prison, and she like, there's no kidding about that. Like, an innocent man lost his life because you thought it was funny, and now you're not going to have parents because you're a dumb bitch.
Yeah, she did it because, one of
You
the
know what it
worst
reminds me of?
excuses, which is true, one of the worst excuses of why women do this is because it's amusing.
Yeah, it reminds me of that episode of South Park where like all the kids said their parents M-worded them.
Which is insane.
Yeah, and Cartman was just like, "Oh yeah, if you just say this, they'll come and take your parents away, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want." It's like, I don't think you understand the context of what you're doing, and that kind of raises the question. I think you probably would hold the opinion they know exactly what they're doing.
And I have another topic about this. Good thing just a random guy brought it up. Oh, Eric, Salem witch trials, they got a man and women executed. Yep, I already know. And these teenage girls, of course, and they're also girls, but they're pretty much children too. But regardless, they weren't going to, admit that they were faking their symptoms, let alone they had the power to choose who lives and dies as a teenager.
Well, at the same time back then,
of course they're going to keep it going.
Well, no, but at the same time back then, if it does get around that you're going around falsely accusing otherwise upstanding members of the community, how long is it before you are the one who is a public display?
See, it was very difficult for them to say that they were lying, until the end of the Salem witch trials. I forgot how long the Salem witch trials were, but for the majority of the time, they believe these girls. Hey, yeah, believe all women was actually back then as well, when it comes to women getting taken advantage of, I guess. But just some random guy, he said this. A guy here in Brazil is at risk of 1 year in prison for squeezing a girl's butt while drunk. And the judge said, you wanted to be drunk. But if a woman is drunk, they play the victim. Ooh, let me tell you something about this particular subject, okay? Doing sexual activity under the influence. Ain't that some shit? All right, you see it throughout society, hell, even in the military. When a man and a woman is drunk, okay, both of them drunk as hell, both, tipsy, fucked up. The man is still held responsible, even when they were both drunk, giving consent. That is so fucked. I'm like, okay, if she was drunk and she could give consent, how is he's also drunk and he can't give consent?
Well, I think there's another layer to that beyond just the double standard, but there's
a big bad fucking 6-foot guy or whatever.
No. Beyond even that.
What's up?
Think about this. Like, men in prison are often used as incredibly cheap, borderline slave labor. You're not going to get the same level of productivity out of a woman. That's just an extra mouth to feed.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Okay.
So it is more beneficial for the system to lock up men than it is to lock up women.
Yep, private prisons.
That just makes it worse.
Yep, that just reinforces the point. But when it comes to specifically, when it comes to false allegations, specifically, okay, actually, no. When both parties are drunk and they both, while drunk, give consent, that's not even giving false allegations per se, Well, it is, yeah. If she says like something happened, then it is. But the fact that both have the exact same situations, exact same, yet the guy is getting carried away in handcuffs. Just like what the fuck? So it's funny to me how this is one of countless reasons men don't even look a woman like across the street, and men don't even look a woman's way anymore these days.
Yeah, I mean, I actively assume at all times, unless choosing signals show up, they don't want to fuck. I actively assume that. And let me tell you, never got hit with an allegation because I actively assume not interested.
Yep.
And I give back the same energy.
Exactly. If I know you, don't
talk to me.
Don't get near me. Don't. That's why people are saying that it was weird when I was going to the bar years ago. I had my own specific spot that I sit at, literally in the corner of the bar. You know, I'm like alone. Like, don't bother me. I'm just drinking, okay? Because I'm not trying to get hit with. Because that's when the Me Too thing was like at an all time high.
Yeah, you just actually reminded me of a story where some guy was at a bar and it was clear, like on camera, like that dude was like at a corner on a bar, like you said. He was just chilling, and this girl was like throwing herself at him, right? Throwing herself at him. And they're hooking up and shit, like start making out first base, little second base action, right? And then there's also the camera feed in her apartment complex where it's clear as day she's signing him in, right? She's signing him in. And I think the camera footage showed him leaving the next day or
Is
something.
this on the news?
I think so.
I
And
think
then
that's
she tried to
right, yeah.
180 her shit. And then as soon as they pulled up the camera feed, they were like, yeah, go fuck yourself, lady. Hilarious.
Literally, go fuck it. Like, literally. Like, that's why women act all confused on why managers or, you know, people that have their companies, they don't even take one-on-one sessions anymore when it comes
Correct.
to mentorship and stuff.
Yep. And they get so mad at it. And it's like, it's not that you will or won't. It's that you can and you will get taken seriously.
And you
And
can
until
do
the
it.
law until the law changes that, we're not going in there with you.
Yep. And on top of that, you can do it at any time. So how the fuck can I predict? How do I know?
Yeah, I'm living life for like 15 years, and then all of a sudden, well, 15 years ago, we were in a conference room, and you said I had nice tits. I never said that, Clara. Well, I said you did, and everyone believes me. So
Hell,
there goes your reputation.
not the 15th, 30, 40 years ago.
See, at this point, you got to treat it like, you guys remember that Bill Burr skit where he said when kids come around him, he treats them like bombs. He's like, get this fucking thing away from me, because he knows like an allegation could fuck you up. That's basically how you got to treat women today. You got to be like, get this fucking thing away from me, because like, you know, anything they could make up and just destroy your life.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine. It's good that you mentioned that, because honestly, I honestly think when you look at the law, you look at the government, they treat women the same way they treat children. They treat it that way. And then like, yet they'll turn around and say to you, nah, that they're adults. It's like, you can't have the benefits of being a kid and have the benefits of being an adult. You can't, like, you can't. But they try.
Yeah, they get 60% less jail time. This girl ran my friend over, backed up over him, and she only got 90 days in jail. My friend's collarbone was broken and he was all fucked up. Could you imagine if it was the other way around?
25 at least.
Yep. But she was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to school to be a nurse or whatever, and threw some crocodile tears on. And the judge was like, oh, we don't want to ruin her career and future. And then she was a single mom, so she like used her kids as an excuse too.
Fucking garbage.
If women didn't have double standards, they will not have any standards at all. So let's keep it real.
But again, right, we get into it. It doesn't really matter what she says. Like, that's just smoke and mirrors to give the judge a plausible reason to not send a tax burden to prison with no productive enterprise.
Well, yeah, could you imagine if a guy was like the same thing? Oh, this is going to ruin my career, and I got kids and stuff. They wouldn't give a fuck. They'd be like, oh, no, you're still doing 10 years. We don't give a shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Gray, if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like you're implying that the reason they're doing it isn't even really emotional. They're just kind of looking for that as like a reason. Their reason is more financial, it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that the emotional aspect doesn't play into it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I also just kind of look at it from a more neutral perspective, because you're going to get, like, not every judge is going to be subject to it. They see this stuff all the bloody time. They're aware of lies and all sorts of false things. They probably dealt with that stuff themselves. So I just think there has to be more motivation than that. And then looking at what's the value of having people in prison? What is the cold, logical, economic reason to prioritize male prisoners over female?
It's basically the modern day version of slave labor. Yeah.
Precisely. But that's the thing.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, prison is a business, so.
But in the end, that's why a lot of women, see every aspect in a woman's life. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. Okay, you can't just be going around willy-nilly accusing anybody that doesn't fit your delusional standards of attractiveness, of harassment, or worse, and then act all confused when no man wants to be around you. None. Okay? Literally. You as a woman are given everything in your life while you're young. Men, we have to bust our ass, sometimes for decades, to get to the position that we are at. And it can only take 10, maybe 15 seconds for all that to be stripped away, and I get sent to jail or I get killed.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think you're also expecting them to have that level of empathy and understanding.
No, I don't expect them whatsoever.
That's the thing. I can't. From what I've seen, you can't even expect that of men who've been physically well gifted or were born into money. There's actually a very interesting psychological study where they took a whole bunch of people and they had them play Monopoly. But at the beginning of the game, they flipped a coin. And the side that won the coin toss, they got to play Monopoly as normal. But the side that lost had half their initial money taken away, and they could only roll one dice per turn. And when the game was over, with obviously the person who got twice as many movement and more, and therefore twice as many trips around the board, like when they inevitably won the game, they were they were asked, okay, why did you win? Do you think they said, because I got 2 dice, whereas the other person only got 1? Or do you think they said, well, because I made these smart decisions during the game?
Ego investment, second option.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think they never get in trouble? Like, say a guy did 5 years and then it's come out that she lied. Why do you guys think they never get in trouble? The most time I've ever seen them get was like 30 days in jail, which is nothing.
Well, because society doesn't take women seriously when it comes to responsibility. Second, it'll be not in the government's interest to put women in prison for a long time, because they need new workers. They need more people born.
Yeah. It just fucked up. It's like if that dude did 5 years because of a lie, now you should have to do 5 years and the government should have to give that guy money, since they threw him away for 5 years of his life for basically nothing.
Yeah, I know. And literally, grown women walking around like children, starting up drama that can get you killed or thrown in jail, or reputation ruined. You can't even get a job, so you're homeless out of amusement. Yeah, that happens, chat. That happens. They'll be giggling while you're sleeping with a freaking messed up blanket on the street, no pillow, nothing. You're literally, your life is destroyed, and she'll think it's amusing. It all depends on how attractive you are, is when she may have regrets in the future.
Yep, exactly.
And that's why if you guys are going to smash and dash these girls, you have to be careful, because if you smash and dash the wrong girl and she's vindicted, she will ruin your life.
And
But-
my bad for going all black pill on you guys, but that is some hardcore truth when it comes to modern women and their allegations, because modern women, they have way more power than ever before in history. Okay,
Yep.
you're literally a second class. Who do you think they're going to believe? Okay, you, a man with a XY chromosome. XY is male, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
XY's male.
XY chromosome, huh? You 6 foot something, or some big burly man with a bunch of hair all in your body like a Neanderthal, or some little 5'4" she's most likely gonna be, obese, but let's say that she's okay weight. And she has a gender studies degree. Who do you think they're gonna believe more? That she got great.
Well,
See,
it's
you
funny.
gotta
It
think about
goes
that, gentlemen.
it goes even beyond that. Like, they don't have to be XY. Like, there was actually
Wait. What do you mean?
like this is actually this one woman transitioned to being a man, got into some distress, and then in a fashion that they're familiar with, ran toward the cop, like crying for help, and was shocked when the cop pulled a gun on them.
That's
The
hilarious.
perception
Whoa.
that you're a man.
Welcome to our world.
Well,
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. How do you know Neanderthals had lots of heroin? What?
Lots
Hair
of
on their
hair
bodies. How do you know they're
Oh,
hairy?
heroin. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Well, since Neanderthals were the earlier versions of us before the Homo sapiens came about, I will assume that they had more hair than the average human, because according to evolution science, we evolved from, monkeys, chimpanzees,
Well-
primates.
Well, to
They
be
had a
fair,
lot
there
of
are
hair.
some
we
very
we
hairy
actually
humans.
coexisted the same time as Neanderthals, and one reason why they're not here is like our species and theirs like
We killed
bred
them off.
together and basically
no,
just
there was-
created one.
Yeah, there was some crossbreeding.
humans
as
kill them
well.
off. Humans
Yeah, we
kill-
killed a lot of them off too.
Yeah,
Killed off out competition.
just because we were smarter.
Yeah, there were. That's the thing. I think at one time there were 8 different hominid species, and Homo sapiens are the very ones that made it past.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because the Homo sapiens were a lot smarter, able to, the Neanderthals on average were bigger and stronger, but they were, less smart. So we were able to play chess, not checkers, with the Neanderthals, and that's how they went extinct for the most part, because we were able to outsmart and kill them.
Not even that. Also, outcompete. Like, if your
Compete.
group is the only group that plans ahead for a famine by stockpiling food, like, you don't have to be the ones actively aggressing. You are just the only one that can survive natural disasters and the like.
Bigger brain capacity. You sure about that?
Technically, yes, they did have larger brains, but that led to an efficiency issue. Just because you have a larger brain doesn't necessarily mean you're smarter, because the chemicals need to travel further, the signals need to travel further. You actually have slower thought with a larger brain.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you think about it, like a whale has a way larger brain than a human, but we're still more intelligent. So
Yeah, regardless, we outsmarted them. We took them out. All right, GG.
Although the initial question of how do we know they had more hair than humans, to be fair, we've seen some pretty hairy, bloody humans. But then there's also the question of why we lost hair, and there's definitely the advantage of sweat, but also there's a question of how much were we involved with the water in early human history, because not having a lot of hair does make you more agile in the water. And we see plenty of countries nowadays where there's not a lot of open bodies of water. The people there tend to have hair, like just more body hair in general.
Didn't clothes play a part as well? with losing all the hair on the body. It played a part because we didn't really need all that hair. You know, we were able to get that fur and all that crazy shit.
Maybe. I'm not entirely familiar with the presence of clothing playing in hair.
All right, how
I'd
the
say-
fuck did we even get here?
We got there by you made a comment on hairy Neanderthals, and that sparked
Okay.
a question in
Oh,
chat.
yeah, heroin. Okay. Okay. Back to the subject at hand. All right. And hey, we might touch on it later on in the stream. But yeah, when it comes to the false allegations, right? It's so insane how much power modern women have, even when they're caught, like legit lying. Even when they're caught legit lying, nothing happens to them. It's only a very small select few. I mean, so small it's not even funny. Of women actually getting punished for lying about rape. The longest I've seen was 1 year in prison.
You know how we fix this, right?
Way harsher punishments.
Shout out to TFM. Everybody needs to come out as masculine presenting trans lesbians. If everybody just came out as masculine presenting trans lesbians, they couldn't do shit. You could do the reverse Uno card and be like, "No, bitch, you raped me. I'm a woman too. Just because I have a masculine clitoris doesn't mean I'm not a woman. Just because I got 22-inch arms doesn't mean I'm not a woman."
But that guy Pete,
Yo,
what is your advice for men that's going to listen to this, eventually, when it comes to treading carefully around women? Because like we said earlier, any of them have the capability of ruining your reputation on the spot.
yeah. So I would say, first off, don't ever engage in sexual activity under the influence of any substance ever. That's just like a no-go. You don't go there. Probably also a good idea not to shit where you eat and fuck with girls at work. That's probably not a good idea.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
and if you-
actually guilty of that. I did that a lot when I was younger. I don't do it anymore though. I used to smash so many girls at work.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, if you're a king and you're cleaning up, I mean, I ain't gonna fucking knock you for it, man. It's all good. But it's just generally not a good idea. And if you're outside of those types of environments where, you're not seeing people on the regular, then I guess just look for choosing signals, man. Like that's the number. I've talked about choosing signals before. It's like if you don't see the choosing signals, like just don't. Just assume they don't want to fuck. It'll save you so much trouble. Because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Even then, it may get to the point in the future you literally want to have documents that she's going to have to sign.
No, those get thrown out.
And she'll sign quote unquote under duress.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, body cameras in your house,
Not
all that
allowed.
shit.
Inadmissible.
What, in my own goddamn house? Huh?
Inadmissible as evidence in Canada.
Oh, in Canada.
What?
Okay. Well, in the U.S.,
Canada sucks.
it should be different. I don't know for sure. Should be. But I'm able to have my camera in my damn house. I can record wherever I please. It's my house.
Well,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
the point now where you almost have to like
it
wear a body
doesn't
cam.
matter in Canada. I agree. Well, I'm
It's
saying
will
is-
It's will the evidence be accepted by the judge?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In Canada, no go. But in the U.S., I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, look,
be
like that
used for-
situation I told you with the guy in his own apartment with the cop. I mean, if the cop is not a fucking moron and they have common sense, they'll look at the camera on your phone and go, "Yeah, right, this girl's clearly full of shit."
Yeah, camera on your phone, camera that you already installed in your house, like it's already there.
Yeah.
So
But that's the thing. It's all about how early you fend it off. Like if you can get it, if you stop it before the cops show up through like intimidation by showing you have the photos, great. That lowers your chances. If you can't do that, then getting the cops when they come so that they don't put you in cuffs and put you in jail. But if you get to the courtroom and you're actually on trial for this stuff, like at that point, you're really, really praying that the judge is merciful.
Well, that's why I do it. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been doing it for the last couple years because of the 2020 situation. But beforehand, I always make it clear to like, hey, do you want to do this or no? If you don't, leave. When I was still messing with girls back in 2017, around there, you know, Western girls. You know, right now I rarely mess with Western women at this point. Like it's not worth it to me. But back then, I always clarify: do you want to do this? I ask them over and over. I can't take any chances, any chances.
Yeah. This is one of the
And
many reasons why I decided to go monk mode, because at the end of the day, dude, it just ain't worth it.
it's not. That's why at least here in the West, I rarely interact with women at that point. I want to go back overseas. Overseas is where it's at. I loved it every second of it. I was actually able to let my guard down and have a good time with that legit feminine energy. It was awesome. All right, gentlemen, if you haven't actually met a submissive, feminine, friendly, fit, attractive woman, you haven't met that yet here in the States or Canada or wherever you're at, go somewhere that's not in the Western culture. Your mind will be blown. I'm definitely going back in a few years. Just give me time. I'm going back to the Asian countries. Not the Asian countries. I'm definitely going back to somewhere like Romania, Austria. A little bit farther than that.
Them Romanian girls are hot.
Yeah, I had an ex that was Romanian. Ooh, goddamn. Anyway, regardless, uh, me personally, especially with the gynocentric laws, the false allegations, you having to being the risk of being divorced at any time, your risk of your kids being taken from you, the risk of you losing your job, the risk of you going to jail, the risk of you getting killed by Simps and White Knights. Why? Like, why would you take that risk? Because once again, gentlemen, a women primarily base their decision on feelings, and feelings change like the weather. They can change at any time. It's not about if she will do it or not. It's that she has a capability of doing it at any time, and there's nothing that you can do about it. That's fucked up. I know it is. I know. I'm sorry for the blue pill simps that's in here that's listening to this for the first time. I'm sorry. Sorry, but I gotta wake you up. What do you have to say, Island Hermit?
Well, it's kind of like why bars are dead, because say the girl did 8 shots, you did 8 shots, you guys drank the exact same amount. It doesn't matter if she decides she regrets it, you're the one going to jail. And that's kind of why like the gym is the new hookup area, unfortunately.
Yeah, because at least you have like the sober shit going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you're not going to the gym drunk, but it's like stupid. You guys see that one video where I believe the guy was like in the military? I can't remember what branch, and like the girl, no, he was more drunk than the girl, and then he still got falsely accused, even though she fucking took advantage of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably because her boyfriend found out about her or some shit.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up? Most of these are like because their boyfriend found out and they don't want to take responsibility for it, or the guy to leave. So they're like, oh no, he did this to me, when it's all complete bullshit.
Correct. All roads lead back to avoid social disapproval at all costs. Once you understand that one thing about women, like 95% of their actions make sense. It's
And
just
this
to
is how I
avoid
know.
disapproval.
Yeah, this is how I know that the West is a lost cause, especially with Western women. Okay, Western women, en masse, are bragging about their crimes. Okay, They're literally admitting or bragging about their
Well, yeah, you
crime.
remember Cardi B? Cardi B bragged about it, and nothing happened to her.
Was she
Or Riley
drugged?
Reid in the movie theater. Remember her?
Yeah, I remember
Who?
her.
Riley Reid, when she R-worded the guy in the movie theater and she just
Oh, no,
joked about
I
it.
didn't hear. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't that some bullshit? And now Riley Reid's like, "Oh my god, no man wants to be with me." Aside from the fact that you're in the industry, you're also a fucking criminal.
Yeah, you're
So
But
inexperienced.
it's like Cardi B bragged about it on film about how she would
getting
she would drug these guys
yeah.
and then basically grape them and take their money, and she got in no trouble at all. Could you imagine? She basically was doing the Bill Cosby, and could you imagine if a guy admitted to that on camera? Like, you would be going to jail.
because
it
men
kinda
are
reminds
treated
me
like
of a-
adults and women are
Yeah, this
not.
kind of reminds me of a Reddit article I found the other day. I'm probably going to go over it. This girl was basically bragging that she would get like 18, 19-year-old men drunk, and then she would hook up with them and steal their shit while they're passed out. And she was like bragging about it to a friend, and like, she's not going to get in any trouble for that.
Of course not. Of course, because they're not going to take women serious. In fact, why would they try to destroy their own narrative? The government, or the companies or media. Why would they destroy their own narrative on pushing this gynocentric, masculine women that just literally have no shame of what they do? Because why would they have shame if they won't get punished for their bad decisions and behavior? Like it's like once again, I compare it to putting a 10-year-old as, hey, you're president of the United States now. Have fun.
Well, keep in
And
mind,
just,
on the other
just walk
hand,
away.
like if you're any sort of elected official, I think some judges might be elected as sheriffs. Like if you've got some sort of public reputation, women are the majority of voters. If you get the reputation for, oh, they don't take these particular crimes seriously, there goes your job there.
Yep, you won't get the votes.
That's how I know the West will be a lost cause. But Rishi,
Yo,
what's
Rishi,
going on, man?
what up, dude?
what's up?
So we were talking about how modern women and women in general, they use false allegations as their ultimate weapon against men, because there's literally nothing that a man can do per se once a woman accuses him of rape. What do you have to say about that?
J'accuse. Well, they do that mostly just because the wider society believes in them, just like that. Honestly, they take them at their word, and you could say that's either conditioned within us through all the leftist schooling, or if it's a biological factor. But yeah, they do it because they can, and it's easy.
Give me 1 second. That is black pill. You thought all women are bad or trash. When did I say all women are bad or trash? When did I say that?
And we need dominance as a male. It's like, okay, doesn't
What
matter how
is going-
dominant you are as a man. The government is bigger and stronger and more dominant than you. You're gonna lose.
Hey man, don't come on, bro. I did not say all women are bad or trash. Let's keep it real, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Let's keep it real.
Don't try to out alpha the government. They'll
Yeah.
actually kill you.
Yeah, don't try that. Don't try that shaming language on me, bro. And I did not say all women are bad or trash. Okay.
It's their
What I'm saying
behavior
is
that is trash.
All
Just
women,
most of them are.
all women, based on the gynocentric laws and based on what society accepts and encourage women in the West, they all have the capability to put a man away off of false allegations alone. I did not say all women are bad or trash.
You can try mogging the government, bro. It's not gonna work out for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. If you imagine if you knew that, let's just say everyone with the letter S as the first letter of their name was legally allowed to kill you without repercussions. Would you shame people?
Oh, hey, all right, never mind. You were saying somebody else, but regardless, I said what I said. All right, so, okay, continue.
that's the thing. But like, you imagine like if everyone with the first name with the first letter of the name is S is legally allowed to kill without repercussions. You could not blame anyone for avoiding people with the first letter S in the name. Because it doesn't matter. Because I think you are more likely to kill me because you are legally able to than literally anyone else. Like, that's just common sense to avoid someone who has that level of power.
Exactly. That's Pharaoh Ravage. Why does holding women accountable and making fun of them means you hate them? It's shaming language. That's what women do to manipulate, make men look bad for holding them accountable for their bad decisions and behavior. Okay, they automatically assume that you hate them solely because you're calling out their bullshit. Don't take them seriously. I ignore their nonsense.
And
Okay.
keep in mind, like, the worst thing you can do to a woman as a man is not care about her, because that removes all of her power in society. A woman that no one cares about is a dead woman.
Right, because the only reason I am making content, gentlemen, is so that I'm able to give men that stumble across my channel, some type of advice, some type of insight on why men are not giving a damn anymore. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't give a shit. So, bam. All right, I'm gonna add these two people right quick. Carry on, Constantine. What's going on?
Yo, what's
I'm good.
up, Sir Yeetus? How are you guys this evening?
We're doing good, but we're gonna start with Carry On since he was here. He was waiting for a while. Carry On.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
based on you were here the whole time, were you listening?
Yeah, I was listening.
So, what's your perspective on women and false allegations?
Well, personally, for me, any allegations, even it doesn't even have to be about sexual things. It's like if someone says I stole something from a young age as a child, I'll get extremely upset. So if it comes to something more serious, that just pisses me off and ticks me off. So naturally, anything to do with that can actually put someone in prison for a long period of time, and it will ruin their reputations in everyone's eyes that they come across. People that they don't know them will see them as this type of monster. Their family members, their friends, any job that they can get, even if after they get free, because you didn't do it. Everyone's going to have this stigmas of this person did this type of thing. And most people won't even look into it. They'll just see, he did this crime. So it's like, you can say I didn't do it, but people are like, yeah, you just didn't have the evidence sometimes. So it really ticks me off. And I have like a few, I like not mine personally, but I knew these people that had like family and friends who have been like in the situation. Well, like when I was in college, this girl I was talking to, was a friend, she was lesbian, but she said she knew this guy for like a long time, and he was an orphan, and he didn't like this girl, and the girl didn't like him. And he left the orphanage, and when he came back to get his stuff because he was leaving, the girl said, they got into an argument, and when he left, the girl said that he sexually assaulted her and all that crap. And after he was going to like, all the shit happened. And she only reason she did it was because she didn't like him, but she didn't have any evidence, so she said that this happened so she could fuck him up.
I'm not surprised. What happened to him?
He got out because there was enough evidence and people standing behind him because people trusted him. But if people like didn't have that much trust, the guy would have been fucked. And like there's an opposite story, like when a guy was in an opposite situation and he went to the police, they laughed at him. It was in like a Caribbean country. And like the people were like, this happened because the guy was big. So like if it happens the other way around, no one believes them. But a woman can make up stories of people that they have, like people that are not even in the vicinity of them, people that they have clear evidence that they were hitting on them. And it's like happens a lot in colleges, like girls that I think there was like a case with these two, I'm not sure what sports they were doing, but they had like this gangbang on the threesome with this girl. And when she was finished, she saw this guy that she liked. And she made up an idea that they raped her. So these two were like in, I'm not sure they went to jail or something like that, but they lost their scholarships. So their lives were already ruined. And she's like, oh yeah, I didn't do it after like 2 years. So it's like these two people lost nearly everyone around their support. They lost their scholarships. So their future was screwed over because someone felt bad that a potential partner knew they were a prostitute. No, not a prostitute, but a slut. So they make up this. I remember someone saying that it's social status, and that's what we really care about because they want to do half the stuff like put on makeup. They say it's like, oh, I'm just doing it for me. Yeah, they're doing it for them. It raises their social status because men give them more attention and women fight. Like men attention is like a currency to women. So the more they have that, the more higher in status they are. And there's all this other stuff. So yeah, most of it's the status because if they have a high status around women, they can use that to get some leverage and power.
I agree, man. I agree everything that you said. All right, women, they don't think far ahead. They literally just act upon on how they feel, and they were afraid of being held accountable for being a 304. So they will much rather ruin two men's lives because they see them as dispensable. Like not dispensable, expendable. Like they just literally like, all right, it's just two typical males. All right, like there's plenty of men out here. Who gives a fuck about these two? And that happens often.
I guess the worst thing about it is that any woman that actually is being in this situation, they get screwed over because no one can actually trust them now. Anytime a woman online, even like online when people just jump to the gun, now even like the people that say on YouTube stuff, there's like a little drama or shit like this happening. And in the beginning, everyone's just jumping the gun, but now anytime something like this happens, people are like it's probably a lie because they didn't go to police officers. If like women don't go to police officers, everyone's like they're probably lying. If it's like a YouTuber or someone that's influential, like, oh, they're probably lying so they can get some clout of this shit. And it's like, no one trusts anyone. It could be someone that's actually been through shit or someone that's lying and no one's sure. They don't even know the percentage of this. If it's a lie, like, no one's know if it's 50-50 or if it's like 40-60. No one's sure the percentage. But everyone's like, there's a high possibility this could be a lie because if it was probably true, there'll be a court case and they can't be talking the shit about it.
Exactly. I agree, man. I agree. Constantine.
Yes, sir, Yeetus.
So what is your perspective on this topic?
Well, I think it's a very, very messed up thing that goes on in our society. And I think that it's a really a prime example. It can be like what Carry On was saying about it basically kind of being like a boy who cried wolf scenario where you go around saying somebody did this and then it comes out that they didn't really do what they're claiming that you did. And it just screws over any real victims of grape and all of that. And it just makes it harder for them to actually have any justice in a situation where it really happens. And I actually do have two stories kind of about false accusations. Not that happened to me. I'm fortunate to have not had to go through that. But one of the guys that I knew from college, actually, he ended up becoming a police officer in the town I live in right now. And he was telling us this story when we were at one of my other friends' bachelor parties. We were sitting around a campfire, just having a few beers and stuff, and he was talking to us, and he told us about how this one college girl that went to the same college we did, I guess she was a sorority girl or something, she came to fill out a police report claiming that her boyfriend engaged in what Joker from Better Bachelor would call the struggle snuggle, and he filled out the report and everything, and they gave her the whole kit and everything to see if she got any disease, because that's procedure. And once the kit came back that she didn't have any gifts that keep on giving, if you catch my drift, any STIs and stuff, she said, "Oh, I wasn't really graped. I just wanted the free test," and then just left. And he was just standing there, just like, "What the fuck just happened? Are you fucking kidding me? And it's very interesting that she would do that, especially in the town I live in, because there's a place you can go to. It's like a pregnancy care center where you can go to have them run those same kind of tests on you to see, and I've heard the woman who started it speak, and she actually got pregnant whenever she was a young woman, and she didn't really know what to do and stuff because she had made an irresponsible decision. She didn't know. She really wanted to get an abortion. She did not end up getting an abortion. In fact, from what I understand, the man that she gave birth to actually is one of the student ministry leaders in at one of the student ministries I used to be a part of on campus at the college I went to. But point is, there was a place she could have gone to in order to actually have all that stuff done without having to get police involved, because it was her boyfriend and they consensually engaged in bedroom fun. There was nothing to do with any actual crime, but she went to the police, said that something happened, all for a free test. And this is all according to one of the guys that I know that I went to school with, who's now a police officer. And it just blew his freaking mind that somebody would do that. It was insane. And then another story would be where I work now, there used to be a guy there, and he actually had a woman file a complaint against him simply for him asking what kind of perfume she was wearing because he wanted to buy some for his wife. And she put in a harassment complaint against him. And so HR had to get involved, and the lady that's head of the department I work in straight up told the guy that was in charge of HR, "This is messed up. I know this guy didn't do that. It's not in his character. You can't be serious with this crap." And it was just ridiculous. And so, yeah, it happens, and it's very unfortunate, and it can definitely ruin a guy's life. And what we really need are laws that hold people that would come forward and lie about stuff like that accountable. I think that would be a big first step in trying to address this problem. And until that happens, I can't blame any guy that doesn't want to bother with dating, or they're really distant when it comes to trying to talk to chicks, or they try to be as disconnected from it as possible. They don't really take anything with them in terms of their interactions seriously because they know they're not going to try to get anything out of it. You know what I mean? And they wonder exactly. It's like y'all were saying earlier, also about the career women wondering why men don't want to have one-on-one meetings with them anymore, or taking them out to lunch and stuff, or going on business trips with them. It's the same reason. Men don't want to take that risk. It's all a cost-benefit analyses, and when there's more risk compared to reward, the man's going to say, I ain't about this. And it really is just comes down to the fact that it's not every single woman out there on the face of the earth that's going to ruin your life 100% guarantee. It is exactly what you were saying, Yeetus. They have the ability to do it, and you can't just look and see if they're the kind of person that would actually do it or not. And so you got to play it safe. I know that if I remember correctly, there's a woman that Think Before You Sleep was talking about. I think her name's Diana Davison. I think he learned that from her, actually. Because she, from what Sean has said, I Think Before You Sleep, he realized, he would say that someone like Diana Davison's probably one of the only non-chameleon females from what he has seen. I don't know how true that is, but this is just what Think Before You Sleep said in the video, was saying that based on the stuff that Diana Davison's put out, it seems that she's one of the only people that actually cares about what men go through and aren't just chameleons, per se. But getting back on topic, yeah, it's a messed up thing, and it's a shame that it happens, and it's a shame that they actually enjoy ruining other people's lives like that. Because that's good people don't relish in something like that. That's twisted and messed up for sure.
It is. That's why I will believe men way before I will believe women when it comes to being assaulted. Because
if I had my way,
they don't lie about that.
Yeah, if I had my way with the laws, the death penalty will probably be the charge for that crap. I would literally want to put the people to the blade because that stuff is bullshit. If you're actually putting someone's life at threat, or even having the potential of them wasting years, at least you should get what they got, probably more. But at most, if I actually had my way, I'll probably put you to the blade because I don't really care. You're barely human in my eyes at that point because you actually went out your way to fuck someone over for no flipping reason. And
hey, that's a good topic. That's a good topic. So you believe death penalty for lying on a man when it comes to what's it called? Sexual assault or rape.
well, yeah, you technically because you have to say that when you go to court, there's like a certain agreement that you're not lying. But if you clearly know you're lying, like it's like someone that was drunk and they said that the person raped them. I'll have leaning with that, like they were drunk. So, yeah. But if someone that's like they weren't drunk and they just did it to fuck the person over, yeah, you should definitely get at least what they got and like probably 5 to 10 years added on because you were trying to screw that person over and fuck over their life. Or you should, if it's like rarely and like you consistently do this, like you're a threat to people, you are literally trying to screw people over, and you're not. It's like someone saying like serial killers. Should we really spend money on keeping people that are just mentally broken to the point that we can't allow them alive and just sustain their life, or should we just end them?
Well, personally, I wouldn't put them to death. But
I know it's a stream. Like that's like because I just don't like the idea of someone lying upon someone. That's really.
I agree. I completely hate liars, and we're going to talk about this topic real quick. That guy Pete.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe in harsher punishments? And if you do, what kind of harsher punishments would you think of? Let's say if you were a lawmaker.
If I was a lawmaker, I would just say whatever the punishment the man got, that's what she would get.
So if the man got 20 years in prison.
So if one guy got 25 and then it turned out the accuser was full of shit, she gets 25. If the man got put to death as a result of it, that's her punishment. Again, you have to attach the responsibility to the authority. That's what it always boils down to.
So you're a fan of eye for an eye.
Yeah, I listen, Hammurabi knew a thing or two.
Right. I'm a big fan as well. I'm a hardcore believer of eye for an eye.
Yeah, it's not the kind of punishment that I want to dish out. But again, if you don't do it, you are seen as weak, and then people will take advantage of you. And that's the core of where we're at right now on a system-wide basis. I don't like that that's the only option, but they've given us no choice.
No choice, especially what a man would go through for the rest of his life if he even makes it out of prison. Yeah, eye for an eye, for sure. Eileen Herman, would you agree with that punishment, or would you have a different idea?
Yep, I totally agree with Pete. If the guy did 5 years and it finds out that the girl lied, she does 5 years. If the guy gets 20 years, you got to do 20 years. Because like it's completely fucked up, and like I said, if you're go to prison for a crime like that, it's literally hell on earth for you. It's
Pretty
not like you can, like if you're in there for like 5 years for stealing a car, like you'll have to go through like bullshit. You might get into some fights or whatever, but you can kind of kick back and just work out and do your time. But if you're in there for something like that, your life is absolutely fucked. And then say it doesn't, like, it never comes out that she lied. When you get out of prison, you still have to go on the sex offenders list for it.
Yep. I forgot about that. Yeah, you do have to go on that list.
So say you did 10 years and then fucking the rest of your life on the list. So it's like she should get exactly what you get, if not more.
All right, Gray, what do you have to say about that? Do you have a different idea?
Hey guys, I'm going to jump out of here really fast. I got to go do something really fast. So it was good being on the stream. I'm glad I was able to help you get those guys on. And
Right.
I'm gonna keep looking for guests for the channel. We got to spread these red pills. We got to try to save as many men as we can. And Pete, I want to congratulate you. You're doing a good job, dude. Keep up the
I want
work,
to see if I
man.
can get the Thinking Ape on
Appreciate that,
here.
brother.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably get him on. And I'm gonna take off.
All right. Hey,
All right, see you
share your
guys.
channel.
Guys, go check out my channel, Island Hermit RP3. I mainly do shorts. I got a couple longer videos on there. I actually dropped a workout video today where I was talking about fitness a little bit. And if anybody's trying to get in shape, find me in the Discord. I'm a personal trainer, a part-time personal trainer in the real world. So I'll help you guys get in shape. So
All right, man. Thank you for joining. And will there be a live stream tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, there should be a live stream tomorrow. All right, man. Peace out. Puniti.
all right. Shroom lives matter. See you guys.
Yeah, all right. Bring that up. It's cool. That guy Pete.
Yes, sir.
That's two big people that I want to bring on in the future. The Thinking Ape and Think Before You Sleep.
Yeah, they definitely have some good insights. Yeah,
Those are the two big
Thinking Ape is probably kind of closer to my school of thought. In that, yeah, he kind of puts a black pill spin on things too. But we acknowledge the stuff that red pill talks about as well.
Well,
So,
I would
yeah.
love to talk to a black pill person, a black pill expertise, because I think besides TFM, even though he's not really black pill, but he has a good knowledge of black pill. I haven't talked to a person that's actually like done their study with the black pill.
I'll be honest with you, it's really not that different. It's just I look at black pill as just a logical extension of everything you talk about here. It's just a little more nitty gritty, like with the genetics and all that shit. Chronic
True.
probably would be interested in that kind of shit because
But since Thinking Ape's been doing this for a while, I assume.
He's been around for a minute. I think he's got like 900 something videos on his channel, so he's been around for a while.
So he'll be able to give some good knowledge, something that I probably never even thought of before. Give me a different insight on the black pill, because I know you guys know about my position on the black pill, even though that guy Pete, dropped a couple of things that made me move the goalposts. So if I'm able to get the Thinking Ape on here in the future, you definitely gotta get on as well.
Oh, I think Thinking Ape would probably want me on here. Given what he's done for me.
Yeah, it'll be a very important live stream for people to listen to. I'll be pretty hyped about that.
Yeah, he has a lot of unique insights. I'm a big fan of his channel.
I need to get his email. I just gotta find it or something. Or I just do the same thing I did to Lion MGTOW, just talk to him through the comments. But besides that, right? So Gray, we didn't get to you yet, right? So do you believe in harsher punishments for the situation, and what kind of punishment?
Well, actually just took a quick look because there is the crime of perjury, which is effectively lying in court. I didn't look too detailed into it, and I'm not a lawyer. But that would indicate there's already a punishment on the books for lying in court. And perjury goes up to 14 years.
So why does it rarely apply to women that come forward a couple years later, a few years later, saying, yeah, I lied?
Well, that's because they're not that's because you don't, just because the law is on the books doesn't mean it's enforced.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so what kind of...
So that's the thing, like we can write all kinds of laws for this kind of stuff, but if you don't have a legal system that enforces the laws, it doesn't matter.
So what would you do then? If you were a lawmaker, or if you were in a position of power to change certain laws or enforce the laws, like what would you do to try to deter women from lying not lying, deter women from doing false allegations towards men? Like, what would you do?
It's a question of incentives and disincentives.
Pretty much, specifically punishment wise.
That's the thing. Like, if the women aren't going to be because I think the women, like, the laws are already on the books. I don't think that making more laws is going to change anything because I don't think that they'll be enforced against the women. So it's more a question of higher standards of evidence.
That's what I'm saying. If she's legit caught in a lie, like this, like obvious evidence, or she came and confessed.
That's the thing. Like, it won't. I don't think it will be enforced. Like,
So
she
you're
could
saying
straight
no
up
matter
admit.
what?
It could straight up admit the day after. No, sometimes they might, but there's laws on the books for that now. So my
what
priority
happens to them if
is,
they
rather
confess?
than sending a guilty woman to jail, I'd want to put more focus on keeping innocent men out of jail.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but I was specifically just talking about punishment.
Yeah,
Okay.
and unfortunately, like, that's what I just don't think that additional punishment beyond what, like, there's already stuff on the books, and you bloody well know that since there's these laws on the books, it would be enforced against men. Women are being selectively protected from these laws that already exist to punish them. New laws aren't going to change that.
Yep.
No.
And they still have the power to vote for them. I think that's kind of what gets under my skin the most.
That's the other thing. They're also the majority of voters. So any lawmaker that passes anything that is not in favor of women is going to find themselves on the short end of the stick really fast. And any lawmaker's party is going to kick that man, because it's going to be a man, out of the party in order to protect the party as a whole.
You know what? You guys
So-
just gave me a topic to talk about tomorrow.
So
Actually-
that's the thing. There's so many factors that go into it beyond just the punishment of the woman. This is not something that can be fixed with just a band-aid solution attaching this. It needs to be a wider scale solution because the problem is not it's not right there at this one thing. It's a symptom of the larger illness.
Hey,
of
fair
society.
ravage. I see what you said, but that's what I'm saying. There has to be more of a deterrent for this shit to not happen in the first place. But what Gray is saying is the game is pretty much rigged at this point.
I guess a good deterrent could be stigmatizing anyone that does this by making their sisters and so on believe that they're a horrible person and they're
here's the thing. This is actually the one deterrent I can think of. It's actually make a point. Quite simple. A false allegations registry.
Yeah.
Like, if you are found in contempt of court, then you should be on a public registry as a known liar, and it should be listed what you were caught lying about.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing.
So
and
how will that work?
Okay,
that's actually really good.
Same way sex offender registry goes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna add to this though. How would that work if that situation pops up again with that same person?
Oh, they'll definitely have to go to prison then.
Well, in a sense of, if that lady says, "Yeah, I was sexually assaulted or I was raped again," and she pops up on the list, how would that work? Just hypothetically, how would that work?
Well, the cops are going to run her name through the database.
Yeah.
See that she is a known liar, and they may still do their due process, but at the very least, they'll mentally be on guard.
Okay.
Yeah, they might have to get a finer tooth comb so that make sure anything doesn't slip through. Check it even more fine so no one just believes the bullshit. Because in a situation like that, let's say society-wise, any woman would not trust that woman and they wouldn't like her because she technically screwed over innocent women. So women would definitely not like her because she is a person that is screwing other women that are innocent and have been actually attacked over. Men couldn't trust her, and by that, society would technically just shun her. She will become a.
Well, that's
mom.
true, but this
the thing is, like,
situation
they're
right
women.
now, the
That's the thing,
situation right now is on between her and the justice system.
That's the thing. But like, they're women. You can't really get them with anything else. Like, what are you going to do? Hand out fines? They're broke.
Shame is the only language they understand.
I don't care about being broke and stuff.
No,
I'm
no,
saying
no.
like
You can find them, but at the end of the day, it's a question of, is sending a woman to prison beneficial to the government? No.
well, no, but what I'm just saying, hypothetically, for the deterrent, what's the point of them putting them on the list if the same thing's going to happen again?
To keep innocent men out of prison.
But what I'm saying is anything that she says in the court of law, if she's popped up on that list, hypothetically, it's just doesn't stick. Like whatever she says, it can't be used in court. Like how will that list work?
I guess.
Because it's between her and the justice system.
If I want to work, they wouldn't just like disagree with her because she might have been actually assaulted this time.
Right.
So they'll have to go through and treat it like a real case, but they also have to treat it even more with more eyes on it. So to make sure that not even like they'll have to go in deep quicker, make sure it happens more in depth because the person's sketchy. Like if you have the person that was known for lying and they said this is happening and it was something really serious, you're going to look what happened. And
so
you're
saying a more thorough investigation.
Yeah, more thorough, find the tooth combs, just to make sure that nothing gets through.
Like that's the thing. Like at that point, even in the modern, it's up to the discretion of the police. But a lot of the time they're running on autopilot. They're like, oh God, another woman got assaulted. Let's just go take this out so I can go catch Snorlax on Pokemon Go. Like, no, but if they pull this up on the registry and there's a big flashing light saying known liar, it's like, oh, okay. Like it just snaps them out of that moment and reminds them that they're supposed to be professionals.
So is that the only thing that will separate the known liar and the regular woman?
In the courts, yes.
Other laws on the books would be selectively applied.
Well,
I don't have faith that any other form of deterrent would change anything beyond the current system.
And we're just speaking hypothetically. Just hypothetically, of how could her popping up on a known liar registry, how will that deter the woman itself if the same thing is just going to happen again? It's just the police
keep in mind that you have
guard.
So here's the thing: how does a sex offender registry stop sexual predators from repeat crimes?
Well, they
actually go to jail.
They actually let everybody know in the neighborhood or surrounding area that
they let everyone know.
But the correlation is like, yeah, she's a known liar compared to this dude likes to be around kids, or this girl likes to be around kids. But that's the thing.
So like now, like imagine if a woman on this registry enrolls in college, and every man at the college gets a notification: this woman is a known liar regarding sexual harassment claims. Do you think that woman is going to have any man even looking at her?
Not a chance to know.
No, but it's just mainly police. What I'm saying is because a known sex offender, they're going to immediately grab that guy and throw him in jail because he could potentially cause harm. But if she just lies,
then they might not immediately shoot the man she accused.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's about protecting the man. Like if woman calls in, it doesn't matter. If the woman accuses the man,
if she's telling the truth.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Wait. It doesn't matter if she's telling the truth or not if she's on that list, as long as that man is protected.
I think what he's saying, Yeet, is like, look, if you go on a college campus and you get a notification that says, yo, this bitch fucking lies all the time, then a lot of these men aren't going to fuck with that girl. So then the situation where she could be in a position to accuse anyone in the first place just got averted because the men are going to be smart enough to know, like, yo, this bitch is fucking crazy. I ain't fucking
that
with her
got
like
me.
that.
This is where we get confused, though. I don't care about society.
Okay, so what do you care about?
It's more specifically between the police and justice system and her.
Okay, so now
Similar to the sex offender, right? Because if the sex
Right.
offender is on that list and he does anything even close to like being around a playground, being around a school or whatever, he's definitely going to get punished, right? But
Right.
how would it work if it's like, she's on a list and she lied? How would that be a deterrent to her hypothetically? Not, oh, no man will mess with her and stuff. I'm just saying, if she says, hey, yeah, I got sexually assaulted, I got raped.
But the
And the
system
police
doesn't
came
benefit
over.
from putting women in prison.
Huh?
The system does not benefit from putting women in prison.
I think what Gray is saying is that it's not going to work.
Any punishment beyond just public shame will not be enforced.
So the list will be useless then at that point.
No, the list will be useful
when it comes to the justice system. It'll be useless
if they get to court. But but here's the thing: if a cop gets the call, goes to the house, and the woman who made the accusation is on the list, he might not immediately put the guy in cuffs. He might not immediately pull his gun.
Yeah,
he might not immediately believe all women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which will in turn save more men. Yeah, I agree. So that's the best possible scenario.
That's the best we can do with the system we currently have until it all burns to the ground.
Yep, that's all. That's all I wanted to know. You know, like I understand the society thing, but that's the thing. I understand it's a society thing, and we should definitely bring shaming back. All right, that I am not denying whatsoever. What I'm saying is there will be literally no point in when it comes to getting her in trouble. When it comes to her popping up on the list. But now I see what you're saying, Greg, of the man not immediately getting tossed in the back of that police car.
Correct.
Now I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
And you could have a punishment still. It just have to be worked out. It's just
that's the thing. Like it doesn't matter what it is. It will.
Yeah. It might not work.
I just don't have faith in it. But
it might not work now.
It could be.
If we keep this idea on, after a period of time, people might accept the punishment after a period of time. This person is known, like I think about this. They're going to take people from the environment and the neighborhood or whatever the stuff they do to get the jury. So if these people know she has done this before and she did it again, and and they had no list about what she done and the previous, you're going to have to know what the previous case was because it's really important in the trial. It might have a small chance of working.
Hey, Greg, can I clip this?
Absolutely.
This is a great conversation. All right. Nobody's getting their panties in a bunch here like that one dude a couple days ago. You know, he actually made a video on me and Chronic. Only got 15 views. The hypocrisy of Sir Yeetus and Undead Chronic. I'm like,
probably the
fucking know you.
Are you talking about the guy Chronic roasted yesterday?
No. There was a person that came. I think the day before. I think it was.
Yeah. Yeetus' hater.
Yeah, he literally came in and he literally told me, "You don't belong in. You're in the wrong manosphere. Go back to the black manosphere." Yeah, I got
don't you understand that it black manosphere, white men, we're men first. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I was confused, but I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, yo, this guy didn't even let me finish half of my sentence before he went nuts. And when I told him, let me finish, you clearly know what you're talking about. Go back to the black manosphere. I'm like, all right, that guy's probably from South Carolina.
Well, you did warn him before you even start the conversation, so.
Yeah, I warned him specifically. Everybody in the chat heard, all right? And he left on his own accord. I didn't even kick him out.
But yeah.
It's crazy. But in the end, I gotta clip that conversation because those were good ideas. It's just that The way that society is set up, according to Gray, I definitely agree. There's only so much we can do at this point to deter, and unfortunately, the best we can do is protect the man. Nothing's going to happen to the woman. It's not gonna, like, so what? She pops up on the list. Like, so what? She's still gonna be doing her thing like the usual. But as long as that man is not immediately getting, Rodney Kinged, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
it'll
the
be
best way to
harder
treat
for
a-
her to do it for men who are able to, like, at the very least, do a little bit of due diligence and double check.
More
All right,
information is always good.
Like,
It's like a
okay,
tornado
who am I
warning.
hooking up with? Like, oh shit. Okay, you are getting out, and I am making sure everything is recorded. Like,
Yes, that's one of the biggest tips that we can give you, chat, or anybody that's watching in the future. Record.
Oh yeah, and I think like there's like record, and like some people say if she's drunk, like even if she has like a bit of alcohol, just don't do anything, because even if you have more, you're still gonna get fucked over.
She wants you to do something. Yeah, she wants you to lose your cool. Okay, because that's all she needs to put you away. Remember that, chat. Where's that? Rishi,
Yo,
I know you're doing your thing, chilling and vibing, but so when it comes to deterring women from doing false allegations, if you had the power to do so, such as like a lawmaker or whatever, would you agree with who said it? Was it that guy Pete? Yeah. Would you agree with the eye for an eye punishment? Like if a man got sentenced to 20 years, if it's found out that she was lying, she has to go to prison for 20 years.
yeah.
All right.
Well, is it just gonna be the time that he spent or the time that he was supposed to serve?
Yes.
Time he was supposed to serve.
Supposed to serve.
Okay.
part of that too is sentencing isn't carried out before it's determined either.
That's
Like,
true.
there's always there's some variation to the sentencing.
And okay, so question. Hypothetically, once again, so what if she comes and she confessed that she lies? Same thing?
Well, unlike us, she's going to get a fair trial
Okay, cool.
because we're not monsters,
Yeah, I'm not a complete dick.
No, there
But
is a difference
still
between
going
a
to
false
prison.
allegation and no evidence to show that anything actually happened.
Well, if she straight up admits that she lied,
Or there's
You know-
enough evidence to me that she lied too.
well, I wouldn't think that you need evidence per se.
Yeah, but it's still like if we don't know that she lied, but we found evidence that she lied and she didn't say that she lied.
Oh, I see what you're saying. My bad. Okay. I was just saying that if she just came and confessed that she lied,
Yeah. I think that's
because
actually-
I wish that I had examples. I didn't feel that I had the need to bring up examples because I know men everywhere heard countless stories, especially NFL, NBA, NHL prospects, especially in college. Men getting falsely
like,
accused.
if you just type online, like on YouTube, false rape accusations, it's gonna be like a bunch of them from like college students to police officers, just like, and it's like it's so common that people like know about it, but no one actually does anything about it. So it's like,
And I also made a video about how model women, they literally get caught in 4K doing sexual assault stuff on the video on videos, and literally nothing happens. There was a whole scandal of a TikTok star of a
yeah,
woman literally making out with an unconscious dude, grinding on him on the couch. But literally, she was caught like right there, like on video. Nothing happened to her. How
I think people were
quick?
defending her.
Yeah. How quick? That guy was unconscious. He was unconscious when that happened too. How quick that guy will be castrated if the guy did it to the girl. Oh lordy. And he was caught in 4K and she was unconscious.
Well,
She
he'd probably be attacked before he even gets to court.
Oh man. It's just he's going to get buried under the prison. Like there's no way out of it. But when a woman does it to a man that was unconscious, nothing happens. Nothing happens. She even when there's video evidence, she made a video saying, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." Like, bitch, I see the fucking video. This is why I can't be a judge. This is why I can't be a judge.
I think there's a law that like rape and sexual assault is different between sexes. Only men can do rape because of their anatomy. It's like
Because we're
penetration.
big and strong.
No, it's the idea of penetration that goes with rape or something like that. What women what they do is sexual assault.
Well, according to these feminist judges, they don't care.
Oh yeah. So even in the laws, they have different rules based on like what happens. So
Right. And how you say when it comes to anybody, man or woman that does the sexual assault shit should be buried under the prison. Okay. That shit ain't cool. We don't endorse that shit. I will punch a motherfucker in the throat if I catch somebody doing that. That's fucked up and not cool. So when it comes to that guy Pete,
Yo,
do you believe, or based on your observation, does grape culture exist in America?
I'm assuming by that you mean that there's just like this pervasive acceptance of it as a common practice.
Yes.
Fuck no, no, that's absolutely ridiculous to say that the average layman, just average Joe, thinks that like that's acceptable in any way.
That's what these feminists are saying, bro.
Well, that's because that's because they talk based on their experiences with the Chads who ghosted them.
Yeah.
And that's not my fucking problem.
Yeah. I agree 1,000,000%. Let's go with Constantine. Same question. Do you believe that the grape culture exists in America?
No, I really don't believe that anymore because they're so quick to go after people. And there's a lot of presumption of guilt when it comes to men getting accused of these sort of crimes, and they'll run his name through the dirt and ruin his name and his reputation all because of what somebody says, even though, well, it's the court of public opinion essentially. And even when you're found innocent in the court of law, the court of public opinion isn't always so quick to fall in line with what the court of law's ruling is, even if you're innocent.
All right. I see what you're saying, man. Gray, what about you?
Oh, definitely not as it's described like by the feminists. And the irony is that they love it. Like that's the cruel irony of it all, is that for all that they shit on everyone, they're the number one consumers of that fantasy. They love the lack of accountability that it brings.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. But we will definitely get into detail in another live stream because if we go any farther, I already know I got people breathing down my necks about speaking the truth, being too based, like TFM was yesterday.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yep.
So, do you believe, because I don't think you're in the U.S., do you believe that in Western society, do you believe that grape culture exists where it's widely accepted?
No, unless in England, depends on what type of person you are, then you get away with that crap. But in Western culture, if you're like born and raised in it, no. People will beat the crap out of you if they just have an idea that you did something inconvenience the woman sometimes. How can we have grape culture in a world like that?
See, that's what I thought. And unpopular opinion in the chat. Yeah, TFM and Sandman was on my live stream yesterday. Go ahead, check it out. It's too base. It's too base for the normie. Hey Rishi, do you agree with what everybody's saying, right?
Absolutely, bro.
All right.
I think we're all on the same page.
All the same page because I know I'm here. I'm looking all crazy and stuff, right? I'm looking all insane when all these girls like great culture does exist. What do you mean? What do you mean? One out of whatever statistic that they think of in their head. Oh, that's what they like to say. 98 or 97% of all men does the sexual assault thing. I'm like, where the fuck did you get that? Show me the stats.
Perhaps
Do you have
within
a-
their experience with the top 20, maybe.
Do you,
And
do you
even
have a
then.
peer-reviewed study that supports
Christ,
this?
bro.
Show me the goddamn stats.
Oh yeah, great. Was it replicated? Was it peer reviewed?
Literally, if those numbers existed, just tell them if those numbers existed, you wouldn't be able to vote or work.
Oh, what do you mean?
Literally.
Are you sure sexual rape or sexual harassment? Because I know
That's
that
sexual.
They changed the definitions so much.
Sexual harassment assault. 97 or 98% of all men in the U.S. does that to women. I guess I'm like,
I
there's
believe
no
that's more
fucking way.
harassment. And if
Yeah,
it's assault, assault could be so many different things at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I believe it's more harassment. It's and most men probably around the world wouldn't be harassment. It could just be like you said something that's creepy to someone, or it came off weird. That could be harassment, or you touch someone
A compliment by an unattractive man.
Exactly.
Well-
I was about to say that. It could be argued that really whether it's flirtation or harassment is entirely contingent upon whether or not she deems you attractive or not. So a chat can say, hey, looking good. Oh, that's so sweet. But if an ugly sub 5 guy says it, looking good, she's gonna be like, hello, human resources? I'd like to file a complaint.
Oh my days!
Yeah,
You can't make laws around this shit is the point. Like you can't.
You know what-
You can't do it.
You know how
Chad
crazy it is?
Chad says,
whatsoever.
"Sit on my face, let me eat my way to your heart." Oh, that's so sweet.
If it's Chad, yeah.
Sub five says,
Hey.
"Oh, you're looking real good today." Sexual harassment.
Fair Ravage.
And then they make him sit in a room and watch
Hey,
it. Like,
Fair
3
Ravage.
times.
Hey, hold on. Fair Ravage. Like I said, if they didn't have any double standards, if they weren't hypocrites, none of that, they will not have any standards to stand on. Okay. Yeah, they do make fun of shit ton of dudes of not getting puniti.
Well, what I was going to say is
Shit
we're
tons.
also dealing with the same kind of people that'll tell you that words are literally violence because you
And
express a
silence
different
is-
opinion.
Words are. You know what's weird? It's because silence is violence too. So doing anything or not doing anything is violence.
Well, why do you think they call MGTOW extremists? Literally on the news, big media, they call us extremists.
Well, we are extremists compared to them. If you're so far off to one side and you look at anyone else, they're going to look like extremists, even
Who
if they're
said
saying.
who said you can walk away and do your own thing? You extremist.
Who said
Like,
you
what
could
the
be
fuck?
free?
Yeah, who said you could walk away from the plantation?
Yeah. I always
Get
laugh
back
when they
here,
say
cattle.
Yeah, I always laugh when they say, oh, well, you're attacking me right now. I'm like, bitch, do you know what an attack is? Like, maybe if I was like outside your house with like a bat or something, it's like, okay, I'm attacking you. It's like, bro, no, I'm holding you accountable. Shut up.
Just
They-
because
they
this
ain't
is the
ready.
most adrenaline you've felt in your entire life does not mean you're actually under attack.
Yo,
They-
for real.
They're not ready for that hockey mask time. Okay, let's keep it real. Shout out to RPM. Okay, there's they can't comprehend the harsh realities of the world, especially Western women. They can't. Unfortunately, they may learn soon. But we are going to end the stream a bit early because I want to get on a Ribby the Party Frog stream You know, I'm pretty sure Chronic's
Ooh.
there too. That guy Pete, we're gonna start with you. What do
Okay.
you want to leave? What do you want to tell the Warband when it comes to the topic or anything else?
Pretty much just recap what I said for the guys in the chat. Be sober when you look to interact with women in anything beyond platonic exchanges. Um, Obviously don't fuck around at the workplace. And if you're fucking around outside the workplace, check those choosing signals. That's really all I could say. Otherwise, you could end up in that room. You'd think you did nothing wrong, and then before you know it, boom, pigs are at your door. So be very careful.
Yep, I agree. Do you want to show your channel before we head out?
Sure. So as always, I am that guy Pete. You refuse to invite to gatherings. That's my channel. I guess I'll post it in the private chat in a second. But yep, I pretty much cover everything. My intro video has been updated, so that fully explains everything you need to know about my channel. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're looking at it like, nah, not my cup of tea, it's all good, man. I'll just catch you on these streams. No big deal.
Definitely check out his channel, gentlemen. He's endorsed by me. He talks about some good shit. Okay, some shit I haven't even thought about. You know, he's a very articulate man, and he's the king of gingers. So,
According to Thinking Ape, I am. Yeah.
He's Scottish.
That's your nickname at this point.
It's your backup channel.
Yeah, hopefully you wear it proud, that guy Pete. Hopefully he's not, you know, because
I mean, listen, bro. I ain't like fucking Carrot Top, so no, it's not holding me back. Nah, I'm good.
Oh shit! It just after that South Park episode, man, it just went downhill for gingers. I felt kind of bad.
That was,
Yeah.
was
Hand
that
in
the
hand, we'll sing together. It's okay.
was that the episode? Oh yeah, that was the episode where they were poking fun at Copper Cab. Yep.
Yes, but thank you for joining that guy Pete. And there's definitely, I definitely, if possible, when are you gonna be available tomorrow?
I mean, I'm pretty much around probably like afternoon into the evening. Like, yeah.
Okay, so how about 6 p.m. your time?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, 2 weeks, because I'm assuming you're Eastern.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can
Brooklyn.
hear it in your accent. I can hear it.
Yep.
Thank you for joining, man, and see you tomorrow, Puniti.
Buniti, my Buddhas. I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace. Constantine, you're next. What do you want to say to the Warband when it comes to the topic or anything else?
Now, as far as the topic's concerned, I would just simply say be careful out there. It can be a very hard escape to navigate sometimes, and it definitely helps to just to do your vetting when it comes to which kind of women you're going to interact with, for sure. As far as the anything else, I can't really think of anything else at the moment. I'm just hoping everybody's doing all right. Everything's going all right in y'all's lives. Y'all just keep at y'all's hard work y'all are putting in y'all's jobs and all that, and y'all's schooling if y'all are in school. And other than that, I really can't think of anything else. I guess I will see y'all later.
All right, man. Peace out. Puniti.
All righty. Puniti.
Let's go. Carry on. You're next.
Yep.
What do you have to say?
Damn, it's like it's so fucked that I don't even know what to say. Like, the best you can do is make sure you don't get with any drunk girls because that could go bad. Or is try to have as much evidence to keep you safe, recordings, especially if her agreeing to it. At most, just have anything you can to keep yourself safe. And if you, that's literally the best. If you want to do that, if you want to go out with girls, like that's what you can do. But besides that, hey, I don't deal with that crap anymore. I just do my stuff. I improve myself. I read. So hey, it's all up to you. If you want to go out and meet girls, gamble your life, you have to be careful and have a little bit of anchors so you don't like get lost at sea.
I definitely understand your analogy, man. That needs to be said. way more often because a lot of men they just don't understand that there's a lot of freaking killer whales because killer whales they like to
Oh, killer whales
uh
are monsters. They toy around their prey. They fuck around. They hit into the air. They killer whales fuck around with nearly every creature in the ocean just for the fun of it, and they wouldn't kill it half the time to eat it.
well,
They just do
that
it for
sounds
fun.
like the model woman to me.
Killer whales and dolphins. Trust us.
But thank you for joining, man, and if you are available tomorrow, definitely come join tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
see you
man.
guys around.
Puni T.
Yeah, Puniti.
Let's go. Gray, you're the last person. What do you have to say about the topic or anything else you want to say?
Guess I'd give a personal tip from like how I dodged it. Like record your screenshot, like record text messages and any form of communications with screenshots and try to head it off in advance. Like if she's like saying that she's going to pull shit on you, like remind her that you have the screenshots. Remind her that you've got the text message records.
Exactly. She shivers when you have actual evidence to make her look stupid and evil.
Like that's where her reputation comes in. Like as I tried to get to the beginning, but the worse a reputation she has, like if you can, like if she has an OnlyFans, like
Yeah.
like that's going like it's going to be harder for a woman with a lower reputation to make these accusations and be believed. It gives the man more credibility.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, man. I understand. It's
so having text records pointing out her reputation, like that can keep her from going to the cops by bringing in the element of shame. It's not a perfect protection, but with the way things are now, any little bit helps.
That is true, man. I definitely agree with what you're saying, man. I just want to it could go a little bit farther than that.
I certainly would like it to go a lot farther than it is, but I guess you got a little more faith in me.
Man, I don't know. Personally, things need to collapse before we're able to redo shit again. But thank you for joining once again, man. You've been joining my stream almost every day. Like you're pretty much part of me and Rishi's streams now.
Well, I do appreciate you like letting me on consistently.
No problem, man. And you know, even though we have different point of views about things, chat, it is necessary. I need people with different opinions and not a crybaby back bitch like that dolphin dude. Okay. Definitely join tomorrow because I think tomorrow I'll be prepared because the topic tomorrow will be a broader topic.
Yeah.
It'll be about society as a whole. Thank you for joining, man, and Puniti.
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 Yeah. Rishi, anything to say?
Nah. I think we covered almost everything.
All right, cool. All right. You guys pretty much have the gist of how we feel about false allegations. Right now, Undead Chronic and Ribby the Party Frog are on stream, and me and Rishi, we will eventually head over there within the next 10 minutes or less. Go join Ribby the Party Frog's live stream. I repeat, go join Ribby the Party Frog's live stream. I will be there. Rishi, you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes. The Warband is going to be forming over at Ribby the Party Frog's live stream. This is Sir Yeetus and Rishi. Hopefully you guys had your daily dose of red pills. And
Cheers!
donate to my PayPal.
I'm gonna say the